What up, world? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the COSIGN Conversations Podcast. I'm excited that we're here today at the COSIGN Loft, joined by the founders of Urban Hydration. We do have Psych and Von Tober. How y'all doing today?
Good. Thanks
Doing
for
great.
having
Yeah,
us.
appreciate y'all driving south. I know it's a little journey.
Yes, but it's worth it.
Yes.
Well worth it. We enjoyed the drive.
That's what's up. I appreciate it. So I would like to do a backstory when we have, new guests on our show. So we were kind of talking about it behind the scenes, but let's kind of talk about how we first met, which is crazy because I don't know if you remember, we actually met through Dee Dee in the morning.
No.
You don't remember?
No.
Wow.
It was at
This is okay. You about to blow my mind on
yeah,
Okay,
it was the launch of her foundation.
Oh yeah, that was her lunch.
Yep.
We were just
at
talking
the
about
Italian
that.
restaurant.
Yes.
And we met you on the roof. She really, co-signed the both of you and likewise with me, and we connected there and ended up honoring you at that was 2018, so that was our second or third co-sign awards.
Let me just.
5
Can I do a
years ago.
disclosure? I am not
Okay, let's do
okay. I'm already tearing up. I'm. This is crazy.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
No, I didn't know
This
that.
is insane.
And that's another full circle
'cause
moment.
We've got Dee Dee. She's hosting everything for us. That's our
Okay.
new surprise. She's our radio, our celebrity host, if you will.
Yeah, our upcoming
I'm
song.
tearing up.
It really is a full circle
I'm
moment.
telling you, I'm kind of tripping right now. Wow. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
So met through her. We honored y'all in full circle moment. I am being honored at the Good Life Summit
Yes.
Awards.
Yes.
And I'm super excited. I'm pretty sure for you guys, we'll get to y'all stories, but when you have your heads down, you're working entirely, you're working hard to, provide a legacy for your family.
Yep.
It's cool to be recognized because you're just like, I'm just working. And for
Yes.
people to see the work that you do, it's an amazing honor. So I'm grateful. I appreciate it. And thank y'all so much.
It couldn't have been anyone else but you, honestly. We definitely, with Urban Hydration, selling products nationally, specifically and internationally, of course, but we are right here in Dallas.
Right here in
and
Dallas.
It's so important for us to be conscious of amazing people like yourself that are doing a great work here in Dallas that exposes us, right? Keeping us on the ground, knowing what's going on. You put on amazing events. Your magazine is absolutely amazing. And we say this knowing that we have an international and national presence and we know what good looks like.
Thank you.
So to honor you is a obvious for us, an absolute
appreciate
for
it.
us. But our summit is truly about honoring people that are working hard, good people, great attitude, great personality, that's getting the job done, that's living the good life and the real good life, right? So you in so many ways and so many words, you exemplify that. Vaughn, what do you think?
Yeah, I definitely agree. And when it came down to it, there wasn't even like there was a nominee list. It was like, he's the guy.
That's what's up.
Yeah, for sure.
So thank you for having us.
No, I
this
appreciate
afternoon.
that. It kind of talks about that, the good life, right? What does that look like for y'all?
Oh, we haven't been answering that question. We've just been saying or asking that question.
Yeah, no, we need to know what does it look like for y'all.
Yeah, the good life for us consists of good relationships,
Okay.
good health, good financial standing, and no matter what, having a good balance, whether
sure.
the bank account is high or low,
Yeah.
whether the energy is high or low, having that mindset of gratitude
For sure.
and love.
People say, and I have to ask y'all this real quick. People say there's no such thing as balance. How do y'all feel
What?
about that?
Look, I was startled by that.
I would say someone who says there's no such thing as balance either is always out of balance or doesn't appreciate when they are in balance.
Balance.
Dang, wisdom right there.
That is.
I think a good life is wisdom. I remember as a little girl, the things that I was so concerned about. I mean, in all transparency, I don't know any other way, was will I get a boyfriend or not? Because having dark skin and what I call rashed skin, which is now created Urban Hydration. We make products for eczema-prone skin.
Not asthma.
Not asthma, eczema. That's my now 11-year-old. He's like, we make products for asthma. I'm like, it's eczema. But that used to keep me up at night. It kept me up during the day just trying to figure out, will he like me? Will there be a he out there someday? Now married for 19 years.
Congratulations.
Thank you. There is a he out there that totally compliments me. But I think that was one of my number one issues is I just thought that I was undesirable and that there would never be a he for me. And the other thing that I was so concerned about was wisdom.
Right.
As a little girl, just like, will I have wisdom? Only, let me just be honest. I heard in church one day that there was a king that asked for wisdom and he got everything. Oh. So that was my key right there. Yeah. But yeah, I think having wisdom, definitely not being concerned if there's a he or not for you, but having wisdom and focusing on legacy, I think it equals good life for me. Personally, as a whole human, Vaughn, he's that kind of husband. From Jump Street, we met in college some 20 plus years ago, but he always would say he wants me to have what I want, and I didn't really understand that what that meant. But I've learned that for me, a good thing for me, and I've said this now, I just don't want to have to worry. Okay. That's a good life for me. It's just if I don't have to worry, no worries, then I'm good.
I like that. I like that answer because 9 times out of 10, everybody's stressed, worried about something. Worried about something. Life is going to life. But there's a couple of things you said, and then I kind of want to tackle on. When you started out for this, like, what was that solution that you were trying to, or that problem you were trying to solve? Because I know you said, you made for your skin, but how did you know this was possible for you?
I didn't. Because I was that little girl that was worried about if he would, and then since I didn't have any he's in my life, there was a lot of books, a lot of reading, a lot of studying and dedication. So I recognized the power of research very early in life and the power of education very early in life. And it took me all the way through realizing that would there be a way for my education to help me jump off and not have to be tied to corporate America for the rest of my life. Okay. While I was going through that struggle and that decision during my master's in business program, there was small businesses that were coming in talking about their businesses and how they had made millions of dollars. Okay. And they were my age, they were in their 20s, and I couldn't believe it. All the while, I had just been able to afford going to a dermatologist, and for the first time, right? So I used to just use grease and water, and that was it. And I hope grease is not a brand that I'm promoting, because it wasn't a good idea. But I would use grease and water. That was my thing. But I got to go to a dermatologist, and the list of ingredients that dermatologist suggested was just, only because I didn't grow up that way. I didn't grow up using specialized things or, having doctor money is what my family, we ain't got doctor money. That's what my family would call it. Doctor money. I'm just telling you where I'm from. But I didn't have that access. So when I saw it, it was foreign to me. And it wasn't I can afford this now, I'm just going to use it. It was more what's in this? Why is this? What does it do again? And it led me to research. It led me right back to education of studying what are ingredients that I do know, that I did grow up with, that were in the cabinet that could help alleviate? Because clearly there was something that could be done. I didn't know that, but now that I know that there is something that could be done, I don't have to walk around with truly eczema patches on my neck and behind my knee and in the crevices of my arms, and I didn't have to hide my skin if I had the right ingredients. So that's really what kind of led me to it and led me to understanding that something could be done about it, and recognizing that aloe vera leaf and shea butter and castor oil and
I know about castor oil.
Ooh, we know about that.
Moisturizer. Not just for drinking.
Right, when you bad. No, was it bad? Why did I have to drink castor oil?
It makes you flushes you out.
Oh, your stomach. Okay.
Yeah, it flushes you out.
Look, maybe in my house it was also when you bad, because I had that kind of household. You can drink castor oil.
But that's inspiring here. I want to talk about this because you guys mentioned it, and it's a beautiful thing to see, right? You're here in Dallas, and y'all built this national, international brand first. A lot of people in Dallas think they need to build here and then build out, but you guys have been able to build out and come back in. Kind of talk to us about how that was possible, because it kind of can provide a blueprint for entrepreneurs, small business owners who are I don't want to just be stuck being a Dallas-known brand, which people kind of get pigeonholed and boxed into. So what would be your advice on how did you guys do it to become national, international first?
It really started with a big vision, KG, where we knew that we wanted to be national and international, but we started small. Okay. And small for us was Miss Lynn's Beauty Shop in Little Elm, Texas.
Shout out.
Which doesn't even exist anymore. They got a barber shop in Frisco now, but she put a few of our products with homemade printed labels on them in her shop. Let us test those out. and starting locally with some opportunities, like there's health market in the local city where we live. They tried the products.
Okay.
When we got in CVS, for example, we started in 4 stores, 2 in Miami, 1 in New York, and 1 in, was it Connecticut? And that's how we got our national start, quote unquote.
Who picked those stores? Was it?
They did.
They did.
The retailer does. Yeah, they usually ask like about your customer and what does your customer look like or what is your customer like, and they try to match you back to the cities that match that particular customer profile.
So when they do that, is that do they provide a marketing budget as well, or is that up to you to figure out how to market to the people in those 4?
That's up to us. That's up to us. I traveled to Miami and visited both stores and talked to the people there and explained to them what the products were, what the benefits are. Psyche flew to New York and drove to the store, I believe in Connecticut as well, and met with the beauty advisors there. And so we were just working our 4 stores, and 6 months later they put us in 35. So it didn't go from, selling in Miss Lynn's beauty shop to going nationwide with the retailer. It was like step by step.
Yeah, but the beauty of what, I feel like the Good Life, the Urban Hydration Good Life Summit is providing is the blueprint, right? Yeah. And I think that blueprint is exactly what you just said. We went to Miss Lynn's Beauty Supply. Okay. When I was there, we were looking at how are the boxes labeled, because we delivered them by hand. Oh, wow. We don't know about no boxes, but we looked at like how are people labeling their boxes, how are people setting up the product on shelves, and we copied them. So a lot of and I think I learned this again is that I always think like as a 7-year-old little girl. But I remember just like, do I have to do something brand new, or can I reinvent the wheel?
You asked a lot of questions.
Yeah, heck
anybody who would listen or answer you email, LinkedIn, you asked a lot of questions.
And the visits that you made and that I made across the country, right, to these different stores were no different than the visits. And if folks are here looking to figure out, well, how do you go from small to large? The same behaviors. You're just doing more of it. And you need, how do you know when you need more people? When you can't afford to do it just yourself, or when you can't be in Miami and Connecticut at the same time, then you need to tap a partner or a friend and say, hey, can you go? And we did that too. We were like, who we know? It was helpful for Facebook. Who do we know in DC? Because now we have a store in DC. So we just asked a friend, can you go be a brand ambassador for us in DC, and go to the store, ask questions, tell people about the product, and we just kept growing from there.
Oh, wow. So who was your first hire?
Our first hire technically was our pastor's daughter to watch the kids at the office. So she could work full time. We had 3 kids in 4 years.
Yeah. Oh, wow. I would nurse in between meetings, and I would like go to the room next to it. Was one office room. Now she had the room. It was a classroom. We decorated it and everything, and I would nurse her, go run and have a quick meeting with like CVS or create a bill of lading or anything like that. And then just go back and forth between nursing, having the kids, picking up another kid from daycare, and just making sure that life was still running. We'll be celebrating 15 years in business, doing what we do. But that first, and that sounds huge to us, right? And I'm just saying, I'm like, wow, that's humongous. But when we talk to, I feel like larger companies, they're like, you've been in business 15 years and you're not like quadrillionaires yet. Oh, yeah. But we not, because the first 15, or the first, not 15, 4 years, but the first 10 years, we were raising a family and raising a business, creating legacy.
Got you. So y'all didn't want to go like direct to like, let me find investors or let me raise capital?
Not right away. We didn't raise capital until we were in our 6th year. Okay. And it was an angel investor. Okay. So we made sure it was a deal that we could live with.
And even that was heat. Like that was family. We
from church.
You want to know the blueprint of like real, not hood, but I would say the real good way, which is why we say the good life. We were at church, like passing out samples, like to our pastor. We talked to our pastor after church, and we're like, hey, you know the good ones, the ones that's really paying tithes. But we're like, can you present this product to people who may be good connects for us? So now people using all type of apps. We used our pastor because if you think about it, they know their people. They know what interests their congregation have, what needs their congregation has. And the need that a member in their congregation had was he was about to retire from baseball. He wanted to do something extra with his cash, and he knew that we were tithe paying, serving like members. We were serving in Vacation Bible class, and we were working full time and trying to hustle. He knew us. He knew our story. So yes, keep your head down and work hard, but you got to also be available for connections.
So your first investor came from church.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a headline right there.
Hey, go to church.
Go to church. Yeah.
It's
I know
money in
we
church.
just increased church goers by 10% with this episode alone.
That's good right there. That's the good life.
That's where they at? Okay.
Oh, you mean to tell me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for real.
Well, no, that's super important. And I know y'all probably going to discuss this at the summit, but I feel like a lot of people want to know, like, okay, Miss Lynn's to 4 at CVS. But how do you even get CVS attention to be in those 4?
Yeah, well, I mean, we had lots and lots of emails on LinkedIn and going to things like this. I would honestly, things like the Good Life Summit, like
Yes.
being around other buyers, other
Okay.
people. But it took 15 years for us, but it takes relationships, and it takes meeting again, see them again, being at this event that they're at. So researching and finding out, like, the industry that you're in, what's happening in your industry that you can just show up at a lot.
Got you.
Yeah, and that first account, wholesale, was actually Target.com. We were shipping products from our house.
Okay.
So
Target.
at that time, people didn't know, if you were buying Urban Hydration in 2012 on Target.com, they were sending us the orders, sending her the orders. I was working full time downtown Dallas
I had
at the
baby
bank.
by my ankles.
She
when
would
I
print
get
out the orders and the labels, pack them up. I come home from the bank, load up the dolly. We still have that dolly at our office too. It's called Dolly.
her
We're gonna
Dolly.
bring Dolly to the Good
All
Life
right,
Summit.
You gotta bring Dolly to the
Dolly
Load
deserves
that
it.
up in the trunk, drive around the corner to UPS and drop off the orders. And it said Target on it and everything. They didn't know it came from our house, but that's what we
wow.
did that first account, drop ship.
What's super funny, talk about the good life, because we decided what good really stands for us. It's the good, the real. Our second hire was actually the employee from that same, was it UPS? That same UPS. So we was like, let me tell you how it was done. I was like, man, you packing shit real good. I think that's what we need in our life. Like, we need a packer and a shipper. So we're going to put you in charge of all logistics at the company, because we getting more orders every day. Was he capable? Yes. Was that the right way to hire someone? No. He
wow.
lasted for a good little minute, though.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Did he do good?
He did good. We just grew. We grew. And I think what we didn't recognize then was when you start to feel like it's uncomfortable, do something. We were like trying to make him be more than he was. And we started seeing stress on his face. But we were getting, by that point, we had gotten like, I don't know, 1,000 Bed Bath & Beyond.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Ulta.com.
Rest in peace, what, they no longer?
Yeah.
We've been around for a minute. We done seen companies come and go at this point.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Man, so I feel like what you talked on is that I feel like our community needs to know is like there's different pockets of networking,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So I'm getting to a point where it's like, man, I always don't want to go out to network. So I feel like from hearing y'all's story, when y'all first started, you worked full time, y'all had a family. Y'all weren't going to, a lot of networking events within the city to build a brand. And y'all were networking more online through LinkedIn or through professional relationships, right? Yep. So kind of talk to us about people who don't have like the time to actually go out physically to network. What are some strategies that you use to grow? Because people right now feel like they got to go to all these networking events to build relationships to get a start instead of like, thinking about reaching out on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
I think you can start with your hobbies. I'm a member of the Texas Archery Club.
Okay.
And member of the Collin County Poker Players Association. And you can network at things like that, just telling your story. It's not about poker. It's not about archery. You may end up talking about a business deal or opportunity that you have. And that's just the in-person side, but even virtually on LinkedIn, you don't have to be on LinkedIn and have a profile. Some people don't want their work stuff on there, but on Facebook, there's groups. There's the Dallas Black Business Focus Group. There's the DFW Business Owners. There's the Collin County Chamber of Commerce. Each of these places have groups where people talk to each other. They set up messaging and chat rooms where they talk about different things. I'm in a group that talks about like Comic Cons and the Dallas group that talks about, networking at different comic book events. And so whatever your interest is, if you're selling comic books or you're selling cosmetics, there's a group out there you can network with, and they're like, are you going to be at this event? Oh, you should be at this event. And it's just interesting to see how those groups of people who have similar interests intertwine. Like if you want to dress up as a fairy, I was telling her, if you're a black woman who wants to dress up as a fairy and have tea time, you can do that in Dallas. There's a group for that.
Literally a group for everything.
Look, the thing for me is that I'm hearing you say, Montova, and that was super applicable for us, was be yourself. Like, number one, first and foremost, be yourself. And I hear you saying, KG, showing up at all these different events. For me, that's not who I am. I'm actually pretty reserved, and I get out when I can, and I enjoy, being at home with my kids and going out when I want to. But I do know that being a mother and being a wife and being a friend to my family is what got us one of our first, really our biggest deal. We were at a friend's barbecue. We were ourselves, right? We showed up.
Sitting on crates in their garage.
You gonna do them like that? Listen, the good life. But we just went. We took food. We weren't too tired or too busy or too, whatever. We did get out, and it wasn't to an event. It was to somebody's house barbecue. And come to find out, the person, one of the two of us were sitting next to was like, oh, I work at JCPenney. Oh, what you do? You got product? So when he's saying like join groups or do things that interest you or get in online groups that interest you, that's okay. You don't have to go to unfamiliar or foreign things and be somebody else, because you got to be you. And that's the part of what we're talking about as the good life, is being a real person, being a kind person, doing just showing up as your real self. We showed up as our real selves. She was intrigued by that. And she shared our information to another person in JCPenney that helped us maybe 3 days later place a $120,000 order. Boom, like that.
In the span of what, 3 to 4 days?
3 or 4 days. Had never seen an order that big.
From a barbecue. And that's for real.
On
just
crates.
Being ourselves where we work.
Sharing what we do. It's like, oh, you make what? Oh, okay. Do we have a website? Like,
I don't think so. And I would even encourage, your viewers and listeners, even being in the chair at the salon or the barber shop. How many times do we sit there, we get trimmed up or we get styled up, and they don't even know what we do? And if you just mention it or share, like, hey, here's what I've been doing. You want to try a sample or maybe see if your customers be interested? You never know. Check out your website. And then they're like, oh, I know such and such. I know KG. He might want to interview you.
Here's what's so special about the Good Life Summit for me is we're bringing in friends that are in crazy, amazing places like yourself. Right. I know we're bringing in Phil from Ready to Love Dallas. We're bringing in Kim from the Steve Harvey Show and Tara from Dr. Phil. We're bringing in people from TV intentionally so that if you're at the barbershop or if you're sitting on crates, you can learn how to present yourself, i.e. the TV. Right. It's not TV, it's just us, where you're America's sweetheart. You can learn how to talk to someone about you without it be like, yes, my name is, and I used to do this. Right. I can't stand him. Let me tell you why I can't stand him. It was you or your family, because they say I used to be like this. This is Psyche Terry, whenever I would answer the phone, and then he'll call me, like if it was from another number I didn't know, but he'd call me from his number, and I'd be like, hey, what's up? Right? But I'd be like, Psyche Terry? That's what I used to say. I would say, this is Psyche Terry. And he'd be like, why you sound like that? But I was like, that's my business voice. Like, that's how you're supposed to answer the phone if it's business.
What they call it, code switching?
Yeah. I was doing that. Yeah. But we want people to come to the summit, get that blueprint of like, how can you be you and still that be attractional? And you don't have to look like me. You be you. And I'm like, you super dope. Like, I want to hang out with you. I want to do business with you.
It really is come as you are. We're going to have people at our gala. Some will be in suits, and some ask if they could wear their sneakers. Okay. And we're okay with that. That's part of the good life. Be yourself.
Be you.
Nah, those relationships are important, because just how you said and mentioned, like, a lot of my deals that we've worked with our partners has come from relationships, referrals. Someone like, oh, I know KJ at COSIGN. That he could probably definitely use his services. And next thing you know, they're one of my biggest clients as well. So it's really important to like nurture those relationships and actually, like you said, like these people, like want to be around them, because that'll go a lot further. Like if they don't feel forced to have to work with you. And I try to tell people all the time, like, try to build a sustainable, natural relationship, organic. Like, don't go in there like with intention, like, oh, how can I use this person? Like, try to provide value first, and I'll always try to look out for you on the back end. So I feel like that's pretty true.
It's so good, for sure. That's exactly. I mean, I do life like that, not just business. I do girlfriend, female relationships like that.
Right.
I want to be in relationships with people that I can pour into and that can pour back into me. It's very important to me now to consider, just now, because this is now, I'm plus 40 and I'm 15 plus and 19 years married plus. So now things look a little different where I'm like, oh, this is the recipe for a good life. And my good life recipe as far as friendships and womanhood is I'm not looking for drainers or what I call like people that are trash cans. They looking for a trash can where they can just dump and dump and dump. I want to be around energy producers, and that's from a business relationship as well as a personal relationship.
Okay.
Definitely.
So who's the type of person that you see coming to the Good Life Summit? Like, paint that avatar for us.
Okay, go.
I see that being someone, male or female, a person who is an entrepreneur or wants to own a small business, or just, a professional, or somebody who just wants to have fun and network with good people. So really, anybody who is good-minded, good, positive-minded, who wants to do good in the community, do good in their life, and see good in the lives of others, they're welcome at the Good Life Summit because we've got something for everyone. We've got the business workshops for the business professionals, but there's so much more that's going to be happening. Shark Tank pitch consulting. It's going to be a marketplace where people can shop. Yeah, Christmas will be over, but it's the new year. You can come out and meet some new businesses you might have never seen before. JCPenney will have a big booth. Urban Hydration will have a big booth, so they get to come hang out with us, meet us, take some pictures, and really just laugh. We got a comedy show that Friday night, January 5th. It's going to be fun. We got local comedians on there, too. Richie Fontaine will be in the house.
Shout out to Richie.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. So it's going to be a good
hilarious.
time. We're excited.
Yeah, I would say, like, my avatar, I'm of the relationship. I think Vaughn is super good as well, but I think I'm the good one of the relationship. I'll tell you what it is, how I see it.
Hey,
I'm
make it plain.
Look, my head was like a nosy person. Somebody want to know, because I would be there because I'm nosy than the mug. Like, I was going, who gonna be there?
What they got going on over
Right,
there?
what's going on over there? But I would even say when we first got invited or engaged, we used to live in Las Vegas, so we saw a lot of like stuff. And I can remember our very first event of this nature. It was a 8-ball. I won't say MJG, but that is not it. 8-ball in Alonzo Morning. That's it.
Alonzo
Yeah.
and Magic. Yeah.
Okay.
Alonzo.
What's 8-ball?
8-ball. It was an 8-ball tournament.
Oh, okay. So
Billiards.
It was
It
the
was a
rappers.
billiards tournament.
I told you where
That's
I'm
why it
from.
throws her off. Billiards tournament. Yeah.
Okay.
8-ball
So, but
billiards
where
tournament.
I'm from, that was one of my favorite groups.
It was during All-Star Weekend in Las
My
NBA
Vegas.
All-Star
favorite boy
Weekend.
band was 8-ball and MJG.
MJG. No.
But I remember us getting invited to their 8-ball billiards tournament, and we came as volunteers. We had to wear white shirt and black pants, but we got a chance to see so many celebrities and just be in the room. There's a song, my son loves the movie Hamilton, and the song goes, I want to be in the room where it happens, the room where it happens. And I think that being in the room, we were both in corporate America. We both had, done college, and we were just kind of I don't know, skating. I don't know. We just doing life. We're just moving. And being invited to that event, i.e. now the Good Life is that event for us. We just wanted to be in the room where it happened. That changed everything for us. It let us know we like the celebrity, the lights, the people, the events, the entrepreneurship, the growth. We met so many celebrities there, and we just got a chance to really see how they do it. They on TV do it. So I would say that avatar is even a person that may have a question about what is it really like. We're definitely going to be there. We'll give access to that. That's one of our biggest thing is access.
Okay. You said what you liked from being in a room, but what did you learn from being in the room?
Well, being in that room, we saw how the different people interacted. They weren't just off with themselves or with their group. They talked to different people, went to different stations. They made sure that most of them were friendly, and that was good.
And
some weren't.
But I got a chance to see that.
And what that looks like.
Yeah.
And it was for a good cause as well. So
Yeah.
that's intertwined with what we do. Alonzo Mourning and Magic Johnson, they were raising money for a charity. In our the Good Life Summit, the Urban Hydration Summit, we're going to be raising money for Water is Life, the charity we support with every product we sell, and then also the local YMCA, because we want to support local efforts and national efforts. So the local YMCA will benefit from the activities we're doing that Saturday with the Zumba event.
Yeah, I think, what's really cool about what people will walk away with that I know we walked away with was intention, being empowered, being inspired to know that, again, we were living mundane, that like, man, there's more out here. I can stay in my house, or there's more out here. And that could be more from knowing that a mom and dad or husband and wife or business owners can do it. Yeah. You can do it. And that's truly been, I think, our scope for the past 15 years is letting people know they can do it too.
Nah, for sure.
That's it.
That's why I invest in I don't spend a lot of money on designers, but I spend a lot of money on travel and experiences. Because sometimes when I feel kind of like I'm living mundane, the same thing over and over again, I need to be inspired again. Seeing different cultures, seeing how people different live, that's what kind of inspires me to go, to go harder, not just for the fact that, what I've seen, where I've came from, but for the fact that the good life for me is retiring in Panama or Colombia or something like that. So like going there inspires me, like, okay, you're not there yet, go back home, keep going, and it just kind of refreshes me. So, for everybody, a good life may mean something different to them, but I feel like they go to this summit, they'll be inspired, they can meet new people. Could also probably help them along the journey. So I know you said you have a lot of people coming who are open, friendly, giving the access. So kind of talk to us about that, because people are like gatekeepers and you guys are like just opening the door. So why is it important for y'all to like let people through instead of gatekeeping opportunities?
Because we've been gate-kept against, and I don't like it. Like I think, and this is real personal and kind of uncomfortable, but as a daughter of a teen mom and a teen dad that I wasn't raised by either, I think acceptance is huge for me. I can't say was huge. It is huge for me. So anytime we got a no, I took it very personally. And anytime I got a yes, I took it very personally. And I would say this, man, I never really said this before. Don't cry, baby. It's like, babe. But I think that what's so neat about this event that we're doing, this experience that we're doing, is for 15 years, we've been collecting the yeses and the yesers. And the yesers are who's coming, right? The people, because you got, for every, like they say, for every 100 no's, there's one yes, or for every 100, what do you see when you do the throw the ball and then you don't hit it, the banks?
Bricks.
Bricks, not the banks. For every 100 bricks, there's a ball. Well, we've been through hundreds of bricks over 15 years, and every ball that we made, those are the ballers that are coming to the Beauty and Ballers Summit, to the Beauty and Ballers Gala. Like, those are the people that are in the room that actually said yes. So I think that's why, because I know how it feels, and I don't like it, and I want people to be able to get where they're going quicker.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some people who have seen our promotion that have been like, they're honoring someone who is their competitor, or they're bringing in people who buy their products. And the thing is, we got to where we are because other people opened doors for us. There's no reason we need to shut anybody else out. There's room for more people like us and more people in other industries to learn and get associated with the people in our network. And I wouldn't feel the same if we didn't pull some other companies and business owners along and explain to them what this life is. Right. And we're just talking about the good life. It's not the perfect life summit. Because nobody's perfect, and we're not perfect. The good life.
Yeah. And Beauty and Ballers, we want, there's just so much beauty in life, and there's so many ballers that we have come into this event that are interested in entrepreneurship, and you wouldn't even know it, but we get a chance to serve as some advisors and mentors for some ball players that that are like, okay, tell me how you got this in Ulta, or how did you get this in all Walgreens stores. So we're bringing those people along as listeners as well as speakers, and in some cases some honorees. Like, we're very excited about the list of people that you would just like look at their list of accomplishments and go, oh my gosh, I can't believe they're here. But they're here because over 15 years of relationship, they've been great to us, and they're good people. Really excited about it.
I gotta ask this because entrepreneurship, also hosting events like these are a lot to take on, right? Yeah. But you guys have a family, have a business. I'm pretty sure there's a couple that's going to watch this going to be like, but how do they do it? Because I'll be a little transparent. When I was engaged, it was hard to figure out, do you include your partner in everything? Do you want the separation to where y'all have something else to look forward to outside of work and kids and family? So kind of talk to like couples who are in business together, how you've been able to do it. What advice would you give to them? Any secrets, any tips, advice? Do y'all hate each other sometimes?
It's definitely a process. It adds an element to it when you're potentially around each other 24 hours a day, work and personal.
We are.
So the thing is, we got the cheat code.
Okay.
We mentioned church. We actually taught a class for about 3 years called Saving Your Marriage Before It Starts. We were the teachers, 15 to 20 couples that were engaged and planning to be married. Some of them didn't make it to marriage because they went through this book and they were like, but the information we learned in that book, we had to apply to our marriage because we had been married at that time about 6 or 7 years. Still kind of newlyweds to some people.
We wrote a curriculum ourselves called Doing Business with Your Honey. Once we understood the information, and you say 15, that was at a time. I think we probably put over 100 people through our program.
Yeah. Oh, wow. So we were teaching ourselves and got resources. So I say that to say, when you want to be the best boxer in the world, heavyweight champ, Floyd Mayweather 50-0, you train. Right. So just like you do research on your business and your industry to compete to win, you got to do research on your marriage and the person you love and really fight for that marriage, because there's going to be outside factors, some right in your face and some more behind the scenes and psychological, that are fighting against, married life. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, and we can have a side conversation about this, but the media in general is opposed to, healthy relationships in general, whether that be parent-child, when you look at the media that's out there, or husband-wife, or, spousal relationships. It's against it. Right. It's all about individualism. It's all about being your own boss, being your own, you only live once, do what thou wilt. And that doesn't align with the values that we have. The values we have say, let's do this together. It's a journey. And for people who that's not for them, that's cool. But for the people that want to be in a healthy relationship and say, this is what I choose this person, I want to journey with them, you got to fight for it, and you got to do your research and your studying. You study that industry, study your spouse. Study communication, because communication is something you have to do every day, not just in business, but in a relationship. Study love languages, study life languages,
All those are books. Love languages, 7 life languages.
I got that book too.
Emotional intelligence.
You
name it, the disciplines, spiritual disciplines. It's all important. It all matters, because those moments of weakness, that's when it counts. That's when it counts,
Your reality. I would say, and we did this documentary, and I think it's hilarious. It went viral last year, got like 10 billion views. And one of the things that people said was, do y'all see how she wait for him to talk? Do y'all see? And I was like, I don't even. But I think, to your point, right, I think you also want to be with a woman, and for the women that are listening, like, I want a man. I think you want to be with a man that can lead, that you can wait to talk, and that you can trust to talk. Ooh, that's a good one. You got that good laugh out of me there. But you want a man that you can trust to talk for you, that can talk, and y'all are on the same page, and you're speaking the same language. And I think that's a whole part of, like, being you, though, being real, because you out here showing someone else, or being somebody else, being who you think they want you to be, or being who you think is out there, and then you get home and you take off the hair, you take off the nails, you take out the fake personality, and then you left with something else, and both of y'all have been deceiving each other. I think that what's really important is when you show up as who you are. Yes. Be in those rooms where it happens, where it's things that you enjoy doing, so that you're already there with somebody that enjoy doing what you enjoy doing. And then, just like he said, just start studying together. And I think that was some of the things that we did. As soon as Vaughn did his master's degree, I was like, well, I'm gonna do mine. Right. And we start literally studying together. But that also made me learn how he studies, trust how he studies. I remember when he was working full time, but he was coming on board full time, and it was one of our biggest arguments ever. I literally remember going to howtogetadivorce.com. I swear to God, I promise you. I was like, I'm done here. This man is crazy. And we're like, we've been married for 11 years. We finally are doing business together. We can't stand each other. And I remember Vaughn saying to me, like, I'm good where I am. People know me where I am. I'm honored at this job. I'm awesome at this job. Like, they pay me at this job, and I'm coming over here. You want to disrespect me? Right? He's like, what the heck? But I think what I misunderstood was he is good, right? And trusting that, and being willing to step back and see where he's good and where I'm not so good, and being able to trust that too. Like, I think I said that this morning. I was like, baby, I suck, right? I knew to say where I suck and where I'm awesome. And I think we're being taught that it's not okay to suck. And it's not okay to, like, being awesome all the time is real, and it's not. Yeah. And you can't be awesome in everything. And this is just for the women out there. Like, we're being told this, we're being taught this, and then we mad or we hide when we not awesome. Right. Or we hide and we put fake things on so we appear awesome. It's like, no, this not who you are. Right. Be real with who you are. Yeah. Show up with as you are. And then you'll attract who you're supposed to attract, you know? We can preach on all day on this.
You broke that down.
Shoot. Y'all need
we need our own like little set at the house. It's like let me have y'all on over here for some cereal and breakfast, but they have to bring their kids or be able to have the kids with them because we got kids to feed.
Well, one thing I do want to ask about this, which I hear this is kind of important. You guys are married business owners. Are your friends on the same level? Are your friends married? Are your friends entrepreneurs? And is that how does it make it easier when they're on the same level, or has it been difficult to maintain friendships that aren't in the same place that you're at?
Yeah, oh man, that's a good question. You put us on the spot with that one. We have great friends. Most of our friends are married and have been married for a long time.
And are entrepreneurs or
entrepreneurs or investors. Yeah. And we've had some friendships that have fallen by the wayside over the years where different factors outside of our control and some within our control just cause those relationships not to work out. Call it what you will, either strife, division, jealousy, or perceived conflict. Because not all conflict is real. Some of it is you think somebody talking about you, you think somebody feels a certain way, and it's not true.
Yeah, something within that person.
Those forces coming against healthy relationships, or just us. I mean, we made some mistakes in some friendships, but at the end of the day, we just try to be our best, natural, genuine selves. And I like how one guy puts it. He said, you got your three. You got three people in your life. You try to have a mentor who pulls you up, somebody who's right next to you like that best friend, and somebody you're pulling up like a mentee. Really, once you get outside of your three closest in your circle, then it's more like friends, and then you get outside that with acquaintances. So we have a lot of friends, close friends as well, and so grateful for them because we do different things with different friends, right?
Couldn't do it without them. I definitely. I'm a big fan of old friends, and I mean, one of my closest friends is in her 80s. I like wisdom in people. I like learning from them. I like telling them like what's going on and hearing their perspective. I definitely like to lean into older friendships. Like my friends are definitely probably, 5+ years older than me. That's intentional. Okay. I know that the way we think and the way we breathe is just a little bit different. And it helps when we partner and pair ourselves up with at least people that have been here, not before, but they've been here a while and they get it and we can kind of pair alongside. So those are definitely the type of people that we pair well with. And yeah, they're usually entrepreneurial minded, seated in their marriage in a good way. I have very few single friends, and that's very intentional. I love my husband. I'm faithful to my husband. My husband loves me. He's faithful to me. So we like to keep our relationships with people that have like-mindedness so that I'm not swayed or he's not worried about who I'm talking to or who I'm connected with in any factor. But it's been 19 years. We've seen a whole lot of foolishness within our marriages as well. And yeah. That's my answer to that.
That's a good one. That's a good one, and it's really transparent because people have friends for so long, and I hate to say this, but it's okay that sometimes you either outgrow friendships or they outgrow themselves naturally. People move on. We're adults. We have a lot more on our plates, and I'm grateful and thankful for friends that understand this and understand if I may not talk to you in a year or two or see you in a while. When we do link up, it's still nothing but love. It's always love. It's just we're just at different places in our lives. And I feel like for somebody who's grew up like always having friends, sometimes you take the hard, but you have to realize, man, where do you want to be in life and what's most important? And as entrepreneurs, we already don't have enough time. The time that I do have, I'm like, okay, I'm trying to get that time with my daughter or trying to take care of myself so I can live longer. So there's not as many opportunities to like do other things. So it's almost like you got to get in kind of where your life is at to be a part of that. Like my friends, they're like, okay, I'm not gonna see KG a lot, so let me go to his event, his networking event, and I'll holler at him there for a little bit before I go home or something. So, it's about adaptation and compromising in any relationships for sure.
That's for sure.
But I want to ask you this, though, because it's called COSIGN Magazine. So can you remember, you told us 2 times where, relationships turned into, deals or, support. But can you remember, like, the first big cosign you got from somebody that, like, changed the trajectory of your business?
Oh, we had a big one. It's a cosign. So we signed up for a business plan competition.
Okay.
The Miller Coors business plan competition in 2009.
Okay.
And it was our second business plan competition, but we lost. Mm-hmm. We didn't even make it to the finalists. And the PR person from that company, if we got to find her name sometime, we got to let her know what we're doing now, 15 years later. She reached out to us and emailed and said, hey, I know you didn't make the finals.
And let me tell you, normally, probably that day too, I don't even like reading past that. That's like that. You've been working hard, you're trying to get into this system, and then they're like, unfortunately, I'm usually deleting after that.
Yeah, after that, unfortunately, I ain't for me.
Yeah. She said there's this workshop taking place at Macy's, and I want you to apply for it because I think you have a wonderful business idea, and I wish you all the best. And we ended up applying for that program. And I think they said 20,000 companies applied, 100 were interviewed in New York City, and we were one of 22, I believe 22 companies in the inaugural class of the workshop at Macy's. Oh, and during that event, we had a chance to meet Damon John and Lisa Price and Russell Simmons, learn about how to do business in retail and how to build a brand over 5 days. Our son was, a year old?
Yeah. What's crazy is, shout out to Lisa Price, right? So she was giving back, which is where we're now 15 years later. She was involved to help. Now she's a great friend. We're honoring her at this summit. Damon John, we've seen him on several occasions, been mentored by him on several occasions. So I definitely feel like he's co-signed us. I feel like Lisa has co-signed us. Russell Simmons, Vanessa's his niece or his daughter? His daughter. Yeah. I didn't even know that, because that's another thing. Like, we try not to know people for who they are. Right. So I'm not pre-Googling your net worth before I walk up into any engagement with you. I just want to know you for who you are. But we had a chance to do an event with Vanessa in
Los Angeles,
in LA. So just full circle, right? So we listened to the email. She co-signed she co-signed that event for us, and we've been co-signed, and that's truly I say the only way we made it this far is by people putting us in front of people and us being humble and just like standing up to the side like, yes, this is us. We'd love to meet you. Thank you. And also doing the same for other people. Who would you say has like been one of our big, look, Pastor.
I'll give you an example. So Psyche's friend wrote a book about a little girl who was understanding her hair texture, her curly, coily hair texture. And Psyche said, I can find out if one of my customers can carry your book. She got her friend's book in every JCPenney store across the country.
In the salon.
In the salon.
They don't even go together. But it did.
They bought.
JCPenney bought.
Tons of copies. Over 1,000 copies.
Black hair store.
Because she co-signed that book. Probably the only book they've ever carried in their salon.
And I was going to say only they probably ever will.
Yeah.
It was such a good thing for her, though. She was a new author. Now she's on book like number 3.
Oh, wow. So let me ask you this. Of course, it's like you're natural, the person who you are, but like what about her, or like what about people makes you want to co-sign them and get them a huge opportunity like that? Because you could have been like, oh, this is amazing, I'll buy one and leave it at that. But you were thoughtful enough to be like, I support this person. Let me reach out to one of my contacts, see if they could do something.
Because I don't always do that, right? I'm not
that
nice. Where I'm just like, anytime, everybody, anybody. I think for me, I think that's more Vaughn. Vaughn help any and everybody. I'm more, I would say we've determined that we help people at different stages. I don't enjoy, I've seen people come into our house with nothing, just a plan, just an idea. But like 2 years later, they still coming in and out the house with the whole prototype. And I'm like, dang, you saw this person from A to F? Yeah. For real? Where I would prefer you at F. I prefer you give me the prototype.
That's real.
That's so real.
Because, you know how you function.
And probably because I've met a lady like me, so it's helped me better understand me. I'm so idealistic. I'll be on ideas with you for the rest of your life. Right. So if you are needing or requiring co-signing from me, I need to see the concept. I need to see where you are. And then I take personal pleasure out of connecting you to other people that can blow you up.
Right.
So you gotta be blow upable
Right.
when you reach me, because that's the only way I think. I think national, I think international. My contacts are national and international, and they know me, they know what I suggest works, and they trust me. So to be co-signable for my area or to be co-signed by me, you would need to be ready to go.
Oh, yeah. And that's why we make a great team. We complement each other in that regard. With people who are starting out with a business or have ideas, I'm that guy to say, well, what's that next step to get you closer to your goal? Now, whether or not that person takes that next step, I can see it. If they take that next step, they're going to be on their way if they do it with excellence. Not everybody takes that step.
Nah.
I give you your homework. You got to do it.
Okay. So,
I was just gonna say, I got a little misty eye. I've been able to put my tears away, but he just dropped me again, because that's why we are who we are today. I remember the bed pillow. I remember saying, Vontova, I think. And if he were me, right, if he was like, don't touch me till you got a concept, you know, we wouldn't be here. But instead, he walked me through step by step. What do you think? What about this? I don't know about this. And really, he took me from A to F, right? And then I was able to take F and then be myself and then really expose and blow it up and then bring him back in around M. And we've been able to move together to make this thing an international household brand.
That's what's up. So to tie that all, that kind of goes into my next and last duo question. So for both of y'all, the first one would be, what is one thing you want somebody who comes to the Good Life Summit, what is one thing you want them to leave with and to learn? And the second would be, what one piece of advice throughout your journey of entrepreneurship would you want to share with somebody watching?
I'll do the first one. What I want you to learn is, I want you to walk away. Well, am I doing second? I think I'm doing second. I'm doing second. All right, because I want you to walk away. That's what I've been focused on. Is walking away with access. I want you to walk away with your plate so full. I've decided that this is the first Black business family reunion that ever exists. Meaning, you come there, you may not know anybody, just like me at our family reunion. He was like, who are these people? I sometimes was like, I don't know y'all. But you walk in and you don't know anyone, but you do a talent show with them, or you eat with them a few different times. And by the end of it, y'all are, planning for next year. So I pray and I'm expecting that people are walking away with relationship access, with friendship access, with business network access, with, new hope in their business growth, and then just personal growth, that they're, like I said, they're inspired. I know they will engage. I think those are my two things, that you walk away inspired and empowered with access that we are giving you. And what we didn't say this whole time, we're giving it to you for free.
Free.
Right? To be clear, it was a $500, $600, $700 opportunity. Like we knew the charge that it's costing us, and we're like, this is gonna run you about $500 to $700 per person. But we're so in belief of the Dallas community, of entrepreneurs that are coming up next, that we want to invest. And I know that we'll get it back. I mean, the workshop was free to us, right? We got it back. We here. And now we need to provide our own workshop.
That's right. I agree with everything you said wholeheartedly. And what I'd like people to walk away with is relationship, at least one person with contact information that they can reach out to and follow up with and have some type of door open where they can benefit from it and benefit that person. We have volunteers coming from the teenagers at the YMCA, and they already see the value. We had one of the teenagers say she's studying sports management, and I was like, we got somebody coming from the NFL and the NBA who I can introduce you to, who works there. And another one of the volunteers, high school student, said, I plan to study journalism next year. I'm like, we got a beauty director from a magazine coming to the event, I can introduce you. And they're already thinking about those connections they want to make. I hope the people who come to the Good Life Summit walk away with at least one connection. And in addition to that, a next step. What is the next thing I need to do in my business or in my career, in the case of a professional, to go to that next level? And I hope they're inspired to know what that is, so they have an action item, a people thing and an action thing.
Nah, for sure. And to tie it all up, last but not least, what would you say is that one piece of advice for an entrepreneur of your journey that you'd want to share with them?
Be you. I usually say be honorable. I used to say be fierce and be kind. I'm less of the be fierce now. I think being huggable, being huggable is more important to me. But I think being trustworthy and being honorable is so important.
I would say, in terms of entrepreneurial journey, remember who you are, no matter what. You may launch out and become a multi-millionaire, or you may launch out and it might not work. We've had some failed brands and some business lost some big money on some opportunities, but we couldn't lose sight of who we are and the gifts that we have and the lessons we learn during that journey. Because money can go, people can go, but nobody can take the lessons learned and the experiences away from a person. Because I'm not gonna make that same mistake twice if I can help it. No. So I would say that definitely remember who you are and who you're becoming. Because who you are 5 years from now, if you're launching out on an adventure, it won't be the same.
Right. If
you really push yourself, you won't be the same as you were 5 years ago.
Not supposed to.
Who you are. I love that. And who you're becoming.
Yeah. It's supposed to
grow.
No
matter what.
But thank y'all for your time. I appreciate this. I'm super excited about being at the Good Life Summit. So I'll definitely be there. This will drop before then. So please make sure y'all get y'all tickets. We'll put them in the link below. Thank y'all for your time. Thank y'all for sharing gems. I'm going to go get some access and leave with a relationship. Hey. So I'll share, our feedback from the summit. Of course, it's going to be amazing. Until next time, y'all please continue to coast on life, and we'll see y'all later.
Thank you.
Thank you, KG.